Welcome to Street Art Unearthed, where we interview some of the world's most prolific artists to discuss what compels them to take their artworks to the streets and how they became the super street art icons that they are today. I'm your host, Stephanie O'Brien. As somewhat of a hyper-level street art fan, I have travelled 6 continents documenting the ever-evolving art form in some kind of attempt to immortalise whatever I encounter. Street Art Unearthed is an extension of that pursuit, where the art takes a bit of a backseat and we instead get inside the mind of the master creators that bring it to life. Thank you so much for joining us. Street Art Unearthed is brought to you by splatters.com, the online street art publication, where you can find street art news, artist interviews, and even downloadable maps on where to locate the best art in cities across the world. Check it out at splatters.com, splattrs.com. Today on the podcast, we have with us Anna Manolatos, known by street art fans as Sirmano. Anna is a prolific street artist who has painted walls in Australia and abroad, and she's also an art director, illustrator, and painter who's put on solo shows internationally and at home. She's written her own children's book, and she's had her artwork used on the fabric of a fashion label. I'm personally thrilled to have Anna joining us. For anyone who has seen her artwork, you'll know that it's whimsical, light, and captivating, and Anna's going to tell us all about it, as well as the ups and downs that artists face with self-doubt and pushing through to the final creation. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the wonderful Sirmano. Welcome, Anna. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. As I mentioned to you, I've done an introduction on a pre-recording so that I didn't fudge it up. But I think it's nice to start the podcast doing a bit of a wrap-up of all of the stuff that you're involved in. I'm not sure if you often reflect on how awesome you are, so I thought it would be good to do that for you.
Oh, shucks.
So you're a multi-talented artist. You hold down a full-time job as an art director of a design studio. You've put together solo shows, you've illustrated a children's book, you've had your artwork immortalized on the fabric of a fashion label, and you also somehow find time to paint murals. It sounds like you're pretty busy. Is that about it? What else do you have in
saying it all together like that is, it's kind of like, oh yeah, wow. No wonder I'm tired sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're also taking the time to join me on the podcast. Very grateful.
Oh, my pleasure.
Now, I first came across your work, it was December last year in Toowoomba, actually. My family are in Toowoomba. And
oh, wow.
I have been overseas for a couple of years, and I went there and thought I would take advantage and check out all of the street art. And your piece, I think the one on Chronicle Lane, I just absolutely adored it. And when I was looking back through all of the pictures, I kept kind of coming across this one and thinking, wow, this is incredible. And so I sort of started following you from that moment. And then I moved to Brisbane and started working out of a friend's office on Warner Street. And of course, you have another mural there. And I was like, whoa, who is this woman?
I'm following you around.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you as a backdrop.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's so nice. So I'm really excited to talk to you. But how are you going at the moment? So before we got on to the call, you were saying you're getting up and getting dressed as though you're ready to get into all your days, now working from home. What's it like for you?
Yeah, it's such a strange time, right? Like I think, I think doing the small things in the morning is really helping me kind of get through the day. Yeah. Getting up, having a shower, getting ready, like I'm about to take on the day, but I'm just kind of going to my kitchen, making coffee, and sitting back down at my desk to start work. So it's just such a strange time, and I speak to a lot of friends about it, and I go through an up and down period where I'm like, yeah, this is great. I've got all this time to do stuff. And then when I go to do stuff, I get really clogged up, and I think because we're all grieving a little bit of freedom. So, I just find that the things that are helping me is just getting up, getting ready, getting dressed. And just trying to figure it out as like I have a choice to work from home rather than like I have to work from home.
Yeah. That's true. And what are you missing the most during this period?
Oh, definitely my friends,
Yeah.
I think, and just human contact, I think. I didn't realize how important having sitting in front of someone and chatting to them face to face and like feeling their energy, you know what I mean? Like is
Absolutely.
oh my gosh. And also my partner lives overseas, so that kind of sucks. But that's okay.
Mine too.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so
my heart.
frustrating.
It is really hard.
My heart goes
Gosh.
out to you.
Maybe that's another podcast topic.
Yeah,
We could
yeah.
talk
How
about
to handle love
how
across borders.
to- Oh, totally. Oh my God.
Yeah. Gosh, that's really tough. It's
Yeah.
I know I'm sort of finding I love being in Brisbane at the moment for it's sort of filling my creative soul, but then there is
Yeah.
the other side where I'm just trying not to think of the fact that I'm cut off from my partner and friends overseas because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Once
It
reality
stings.
sets in, you kind of can coast through it, and then once reality sets in, you're like, oh no, this is actually not great.
Yeah.
Where did you live overseas?
I was in Sweden predominantly. I traveled a lot. I left in 2015 and first moved to Stockholm, and
Wow.
then I took a job over there, and then I got a bit fed up with the cold and
Yeah.
started traveling around, which was incredible. I started freelancing, and that was when my fascination with street art really kind of spiked. And I thought, I just want to travel the world and document street art. And so I was lucky enough to be able to do that for about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, which was incredible, and mostly just traveling throughout Europe and wandering around and snapping pictures and writing about it, which was super fun. And
Yeah,
then
not a
back
bad
to
job.
Stockholm. My partner is in Stockholm. So I met him at a wedding in Greece and then,
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
ended up back there, full
Wow.
360.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. What about you? So this is one of the topics that we wanted to go over anyway, but you lived in Spain for 4 years. Whereabouts were you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was lucky enough to be able to live in Spain. I was in Barcelona for,
Oh, I love
yeah, pretty much the
Barcelona.
whole time, which,
Beautiful.
I think everyone that goes to Spain, I don't know, that you have I had a really strong connection to it. And even before I decided to move there, I really was drawn to it from the street art and all the artists that are there, and also Portugal as well. So I was kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
tossing up between Portugal and Spain. I mean, such a hard choice, right? Like,
How did you
it was,
pick?
I know. And so I kind of was living in Brisbane and felt like Brisbane at the time. I I was becoming not fed up with it because I do love the city. I just was finding that I needed to just go and explore, do my thing, and then come back and really appreciate it for what it is. And
Yeah,
so,
I
yeah, I
feel you.
decided to go to Spain and decided Barcelona. And yeah, it was only supposed to be for a year. I had grand plans to learn Spanish and be fluent in a year and then go to South America and travel. And I just, I just ended up loving the city too much and I stayed. And then 4 years later, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still,
Wow. Did you
yeah.
become fluent?
Look, I mean, I would never ever call myself fluent in the language because my friends would be telling me now, what about that time? But I really tried a lot. And they also speak Catalan there because it's
Yeah.
so Catalan is a beautiful language. And I'm really devastated that I didn't delve into Catalan too much, but because I had quite a lot of Catalan friends who were kind enough to be helping me with learning Spanish and Catalan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you went when you were 25. Had
Yes.
you started your pursuit of your art career before you left? What
Yeah,
was,
I mean, it's a bit of a strange one. Like I've always been doing art and drawing and creating. I guess every child does that when they're a kid. And I just
yeah.
kept going and through school and did fine arts and then at uni and did visual communications and illustration. And then when I left uni, I was still drawing under my name Anna Manolatos, and I was drawing really realistic stuff. And I found that I was getting really bored with myself. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of artists go through this, but I was just like creating these things going, I'm not really happy with it. And so I changed in my style completely and really loved where I was going with it. So I had a solo show just before I left for Spain so that was kind of the first taste of my Sirmano artist journey.
Cool.
And then, I went to Spain and kicked it off.
So how did you come to, you were set up with the studio space in a gallery there. How did all of that come about?
Well, I was, like in the city, you're just immersed with street art. And
like I
was so naive about street art. I didn't know anything about it. And I just was like, cool, this is so cool. And I knew I wanted to get involved somehow, but I was so nervous. And so I just started going to a lot of gallery shows, and I didn't know many people. I didn't know anyone actually in Spain when I first got there. I mean, I look back now and go, what was I thinking? But so I just started going, I went and just went to a lot of openings, and I went to an opening at Untitled BCN and met the people there and just had a ball, and they were amazing. Jess and Chavi, who owned the gallery, and they ended up becoming really good friends of mine. So, I mean, the galleries there, if they've got openings every week, you just start to go every week and start to get to know people, and you go see art, and then you also hang out for a bit, and that's where my friendship groups kind of started to be. And I just got a studio space in that gallery because I loved it, and I never looked back. It was so great.
Very cool. And could you pinpoint the impact that Spain had on you as an artist? How did had you already, I love your style. Your style is so unique and kind of bright and whimsical, but sort of, I don't know how to explain it because it really makes you sit and ponder, like it's layered and thoughtful, but then it's also really light and airy. How would you describe it?
Oh gosh, I think that's a great description because describing your own art, it's really hard. But my friends are always like, describe it. Like when I'm like, how does this sound? They're like, no, you should say it this way or this way. I guess to answer your question about how to describe my art, I see it as very layered. I start off with just a really, really vague idea I'm inspired by a lot of cultural things, like a lot of artifacts, a lot of symbolism in culture, and a lot of wares from women from around the world. So I kind of call my warrior characters. They don't really have a gender, but they wear these cloaks, I guess, that symbolize strength and symbolize like pride in themselves, and that's where I guess the color comes out. I try to make them really strong with their colors, and because a lot of their features are very simplified. Because I like to keep that quite simple, but really bring the energy in the color. And so I think to answer your first question about a pinpoint of Spain, I think moving to another country gave me the confidence in my art, because, oh my gosh, as an artist, you really have your self-doubts and your battles within to try and, I mean, it's really hard to constantly keep being your cheer squad in the back of your head going, you can do this. So I think moving to Spain and seeing a lot of different styles and seeing the freedom that people had, and being at the gallery and seeing a lot of the shows, and I saw so many different styles, and I saw this real like confidence in people. I don't know if confident inside, but external. They were just exuding this external confidence, and I was like, why can't I have that? And so I really switched my mind into just believing. It sounds so corny, but I just like you love doing this. You just have to do it, and and just don't doubt yourself. So that was a real turning point for me, confidence I had in Spain. I mean, I still struggle with it, but
Yeah.
I think all artists do, or all creatives do, but
Definitely. Yeah, and this is a topic that we wanted to delve into a little bit more. But firstly, I wanted to talk to you about, so you've painted some walls in Greece, right?
yes.
Whereabouts was that?
Well, the first wall that I painted in Greece, my family is Greek, so I was
I
so lucky.
thought so.
Did the name Manolatos?
Yes, it gives it away. I actually lived in Athens for 6 months
Oh
and
my
yeah,
gosh.
studied some Greek, but I barely remember anything.
Mila Selinica. Oh no, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Well done. Oh my gosh, it's so rare to find someone who can speak Greek, besides
Yeah.
like all my cousins and friends.
Apart from my entire family.
Yeah, so, oh,
Yeah,
that's
I love that about Greek Australians, though, that they tend to really force their kids to learn the language and keep tight with the culture. It's nice
for sure. For sure. Athens is a great city.
for street art. Well,
Yeah,
in general, yeah.
I mean, so when we were growing up, my dad's from an island called Ithaca, and yeah, he's like, I mean, you could, if you just mention Ithaca, he'll talk to you for years about it. But I don't blame him because it's an amazing place, and so
Yeah.
we're lucky enough to have the house that he was born in still there. So
Oh.
we went a lot when we were kids, and went to Athens. And my parents are big travelers, so and creative people, and so when I went, I think it was a couple of years ago, when I went just for a holiday in Ithaca. Yeah, I painted one of the walls on the baraka, which is an old earthquake bunker at the back of
Oh,
our house. So yeah, I did a little homage to my family and my heritage
beautiful.
there. And then that same year, I went to Athens and went to Edmure. I mean, you're probably familiar with Edmure, the neighborhood just near.
No.
Uh, oh, it's just like a
Where?
little. It's like near the Acropolis, and it's
Oh,
just
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's like a really
Sort of
cute little.
around like Plaka or
Yeah,
behind Plaka.
yeah, behind
Yeah,
Plaza.
I think
And
I
that,
know what you're talking about. There's quite a lot of street art there, right?
yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just did a little wall there. It was so
Mm.
small, and I'm like, I look back at it and go, oh, I mean, you could have done something better, but no, it was where I was at the time. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it must be nice though to go to this country that you have heritage with and
yeah,
to be able to paint there.
yeah,
Beautiful
really
feeling.
lucky, really lucky.
Yeah. So how did you end up coming back to Australia? What was your thought process when you decided to come back?
It was a mix of a couple of things. I think when you're living in another country, even though I mean, you would feel the same, I guess, but you're torn between really loving where you are, but also having a pull from your friends, family, and your home, your second home, I guess. And so
Yeah.
I think it was just time. I wanted to be back closer to, yeah, my family and my friends, and I thought I'd give it a go. And so I came back, and I was surprised because Brisbane, when I left, I was really, and sorry, Brisbane, I was really hating on Brisbane when I left. I was like,
I
this place
feel you.
sucks. And I came back and I was like, actually, there is so much potential to do great things in the cities.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I kind of was happy to be back. But also I got itchy feet again. Like I go through this stage where I'm like, I'm so happy to be back. I mean, I've been back for quite a while now, but because yeah, the city does offer quite a lot, and I got involved in a lot of art events. Like me and my friend, or my friend and I, we organised blank canvas. We painted all this old furniture that we found,
Oh,
and
wow.
white, and got artists to come and do live paintings on it.
Oh,
Yeah, so we did that for a couple of
incredible.
years, and then yeah, so it was just like, Anna, just utilize your time
Yeah.
here, and don't just hate on it. Just
Yeah.
and it's a great place.
Yeah, Brisbane to me feels kind of, I had the exact same feeling as you. But it does sort of seem like somewhere where you have a lot of room to create your own potential. There's not,
Yeah.
there is now, there's a lot that's going on now, since when I went away, but it is, yeah, it sort of felt like before there's nothing really happening, and if you're counting on other people or other things to stimulate you, you might not find it. But there's so much room to do your own thing and to create fun projects, and people get really on board, which is very cool, I think, here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember I remember when I was overseas and I kept hearing people say, "Oh, I've been to Australia and I went to Sydney and then I just drove through Brisbane because it's a shithole."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Excuse me." I get really defensive of my city and go,
Yeah.
"No, it's awesome." And then I'm
Yeah.
starting to talk it up. Go, well, Anna, you were one of those people that get on it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny how you change your
Exactly.
perspective, I guess.
Definitely. It is somewhere that you have to.
Yeah.
I think our city is pretty, like the center of the city, the CBD is pretty boring. So if you're a tourist and you don't know
Yeah.
exactly where to go,
Yeah.
it's just a
Yeah.
warm place, basically. But if you do know
Yeah.
what to look for, then there's huge potential here. There's plenty going on. Yeah. Anyway, Brisbane is
100%.
good, folks.
Go
Moving
Brisbane.
on.
Yeah, let's move on from Brisbane. But yeah, go
Yeah,
Brisbane.
exactly. So you are currently planning for a solo show at the moment. I know that you can't tell us where it is because it's on pause, but I
Hmm.
wanted to talk to you about what that process is like from
Yeah.
the beginning. How does it work when you're setting up a solo show?
So I guess I mean, the reason I do solo shows is because I really love being pushed to work within a certain deadline and a certain theme. And it's like such a challenge for myself. But the process, I have a friend, and we talk about solo show, and it's like the W effect,
Uh-huh.
where you start at the top and you know engage with the gallery and you find a gallery that you really like and you get really excited and you put the date in, and then it just is like you start going, okay, I'll do this stuff, and the excitement level is so energetic, and then it just plummets to like self-doubt. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, what am I doing?
Yeah.
um so that part of the solo show prepping is, I think all artists go through it. But it's you come back out of it, and I think it's a really rewarding thing to do. My dad is a retired builder, so he makes all my frames for me.
Oh,
So
nice.
I find solo shows are a real kind of wholesome thing for me because my dad gets involved, and you know, I'm involving a different craft, and
Beautiful.
then the opening night is really great because, I mean, it's so nerve-wracking, but you have a lot
Yeah.
of, because your soul is pretty much on the show, but and
So
people can
exposed.
judge. You're so exposed, and you're just like, yeah, I just need to drink some champagne and get through this. But
Yeah.
I think for me, I really love doing solo shows because, as I said, it pushes me to really create, and also I get into like a bit of a solo show bubble that I just live and breathe it, and I just, you know, I'll come out, I'll immerse myself for like a drink with a friend, and then I'll go back into my bubble. It's really nice. And then at the end of it, you forget all that's happened before, and then you're like, oh, I'd
I
love to
can
do
do
another
that.
one.
Yeah. So with the
Yes.
I'm really interested in this W effect or the U effect that you're talking about. Is there a
Yeah.
point in your creative process where so you get the venue locked in, and then I imagine it's when you can't see in front of you what you're going to put up at the opening night. So is that where the panic kind of sets in and you
Yeah.
think, "Oh my God, how am I going to put all of this together?"
Yeah, I think for me the panic sets in when I because I've my work is so layered and
Mm,
I'm inspired. Like I grab an inspiration mood board, I guess, and put pictures in my studio. I guess the panic doesn't set in until I'm about like halfway through my paintings
mm,
because that's when my paintings really make to what they're going to be.
mm-hmm.
And I panic and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what this product is going to look like. And
Okay.
I don't know if I can do it. And I start to go back into old solo shows and just to give myself a bit more inspiration and go, you're okay. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to get through this. But yeah, I think the self-doubt creeps in for everyone, but
Mm.
then you just got to be like your own cheer squad and get through it. And it's super rewarding and super I don't know. I just feel super proud at the end of a solo show.
Yeah, I can
So yeah, so
imagine.
that's the W effect. You you kind of go back up and you go down and then you come back up. But
Yeah.
I think if I worked a different way, I don't think my paintings would probably look the way they do. So that kind of push and freak out just pushes me to really
Yeah.
yeah work in a way. So
And
yeah.
how do you push through that if you're, I don't know, does it ever get so bad that you sort of want to curl up and be like, I'm out, I'm just going to give up on this? I guess you've had enough experience that you know not to do that. But what do you have any
Yeah, no.
processes or, I don't know, little indulgences that you have to help you through when you're feeling like this?
Yeah, I mean, it never gets so bad that I feel like I need to stop, which is really good.
That's good.
Um, um, but I feel like it's so top level that it can be cured with a bit of taking a break,
Mm,
going and having a look at other things, like just taking your mind off it, maybe going outside, going to the beach, or catching up with a
yeah.
friend. Because I feel like if you get out and you move away from it, then you come back, you get excited to come back to it
Mm-hmm.
and fresh. Um, but yeah, the way I persevere is I don't know, I just love doing it. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I could be doing anything else. So it's up to me, if that makes
Mm,
sense. So
yeah, yeah,
I don't have to create if I don't want to, but
yeah.
something's keeping me going and I do love it. So I don't think
Mm,
I could do anything else, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Um,
it's beautiful.
the yeah, I
Mm,
I really I really do like it. And as much as I have a bit of self-doubt, the majority of the time is quite enjoyable.
yeah, that's good.
So yeah, it's an enjoyable practice that I'm doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it hard to let go of your pieces, these creations that you pour into?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really good question, actually. There's some that, so if I do have a solo show, there's some pieces that I'm like, yeah, I love that guy, or I love that one.
Yeah.
Please don't sell. Like I just think in my, please don't sell. And then obviously that's the one that sells. And you're like,
Yeah.
damn
Everyone
it.
else sees what you're seeing.
I guess that is it. I'm putting it out to the universe. I'm like, hey. Um, it is hard, but I also love creating and seeing people, put it up in their house or,
Mm,
enjoying it as well. I'm always going to be creating as much as I can be, and
hmm.
yeah, I think you just have to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Can't be too precious about it.
Yeah. Which I guess, again, is another learned experience.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
used to
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, totally.
And I wanted to talk to you about you. So you've illustrated a children's book, and
Yeah.
your artwork was used in a fashion label. How do those sorts of opportunities come about?
Well, my friend, it's actually just like, I guess, word of mouth and speaking to
Mm,
people. But yeah, my friend Frank from Kid Titan, he does a lot of comics and he's a really great writer. And he had done Greek mythology at
mm,
uni, and he's always talked to me. He had always talked to me about doing a children's book illustration. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah, that's awesome. And he wrote Theseus and the Minotaur and adapted that. And he's like, you know, I'd love you to illustrate it. And I was like, okay, great. Just letting you know, I've never done anything like this before. But he was so great and accommodating, and yeah, it was an amazing experience. Very challenging. I learned a lot. I did a light box for the first time, and did a lot of character development, which I usually just do one character and then move on.
Okay.
So doing character development was quite it was a new path for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I would love to do more books in the yeah.
Well,
and
maybe put it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to, I mean, I always say this, like, my dad has the craziest stories. I'm like, oh, I'd love to illustrate one of your stories. Like, he's so amazing. Yeah, anyway. And yeah, the clothing label, Jericho Road Clothing. I actually met the girls at when I was painting for First Coat in Toowoomba.
Okay.
And they came and had a look at they were just walking around, and yeah, they liked me on Instagram, and I was like, oh my God, I love your clothes. And yeah, it just came about that way. It was a couple of years in the making, which was also a learning curve for me of yeah, doing illustrations for clothing and seeing how it relates to fabric. But those girls are doing great stuff, and really, I don't know, I guess, like, they help artists in a way that they don't have really any rules. It's just like, paint what you think you'd look good on a garment, I guess. And so the freedom I had was really nice. Yeah.
And so do they work exclusively with artists for their prints?
Yeah, they have, I think, a series, 5 artists a year, but don't quote me on that. But and then they also have in-house designers, or they create them themselves, some really fun prints as well. So
beautiful. Yeah. And they're out of Toowoomba.
I think they are. Jericho Road is like the name of the road where they grew up.
Okay.
So they're quite, I think it's near Toowoomba. Oh my gosh, don't quote me on that.
We'll put links so that we can find factual information.
Totally. Oh my gosh, I probably should have. Yeah, but yeah, they're great. Those girls are amazing. There's 2 sisters from, so they do that.
Very cool. That's nice to hear. Toowoomba is my hometown. And yeah, also when I left there, I was 18, but nothing was going on in Toowoomba. So it's incredible now that there's so much street art, and it seems to have a real vibe these days.
Definitely. I mean, Grace and Ian from First Coat Studios, I mean, they did so much for Toowoomba and the street art scene. And yeah, it's great. I mean, Toowoomba's great. Do you like to go back?
Do I like to go back?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yeah, I think I'm constantly surprised when going back, but there's also a little bit that is resistant, and then I can relax my shoulders when I get there, I guess is the best way to describe it. I did not like growing up there. So I have to catch myself when I'm being a little nasty to Toowoomba and not giving it the opportunity to evolve as it has. Yeah, but it's
absolutely.
It's an incredible place to visit now, of course, with all of the street art. It's so vibrant. And I have my family there, which is a treat to go and see them. But yeah, it had never been overly exciting. But how do these sorts of, so the First Coat, they have, is it an annual festival that they put on?
Yeah. So they have an annual festival. I'm not sure if it's still going now, but they do it in different areas. So they were doing it in Toowoomba for quite a while, and then they branched out into other locations.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you apply to be a part of that, or do they contact you directly? What's the process like for these sorts of festivals?
Depends. Yeah, it depends. I mean, I've applied for first coat, so you just have to put an application in. I think all artists do, and then some that are being asked to come in, which is great. And then the Brisbane Street Art Festival, the first year I was asked, and then the other couple of years after that I've applied. So I think you just got to really put yourself out there and apply.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to be
in all of your spare time.
In all, I know, right? Pressure, love it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you've recently done a workshop at Sunnybank State High. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh my gosh! So I was really fortunate enough to be asked to apply for this. It's like a mural and a workshop for Sunnybank High, and grade 8 students, art class.
Wow, how is that?
I was so scared. I think I just forgot how I was as grade 8 student in art class, because that was me. I was in an art class in grade 8. Like, I was not, like, I don't know. I don't know if you get like this when you get older. I just think everyone's like the same age. Like, I just am like, oh, you guys are 25-year-olds. I'm not 25, but you guys are 25-year-olds and you're really intimidating, but they're only 13 and they're so impressionable. And I think that's where the pressure came from. But they were beautiful. Like, we did a workshop. So the whole idea was to really get some inspiration from them, get inspiration from my surroundings in Sunnybank, and paint a mural that would really connect the community and something that can be really proud. So that alone is something that I really want to make them proud, like, myself doing something that I really like as well. But so we did a lot of fun stuff in that workshop. And they were great. Like, the ideas that they came up with, the kids, geez, they're going places, I tell you.
Nice. Can you tell us anything about what it's going to look like?
I actually, I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going ahead in June. We just have to work out some things because of COVID and because it's like part of public art. It's on hold. But, I presented 3 concepts, and they've chosen one that is more about, it's got a main protagonist, like a main character in the middle, and it's kind of walking through this kind of wonderland oasis jungle. So that's the whole vibe of it. And it's very shape based, so it's a lot more simplified from some of my other things that I do, probably more detailed, because I really got a lot of inspiration from the students, and we did a lot of cutting out of paper and really taking what we see in our surroundings and simplifying it and making it quite abstract. Because I think a lot of the students I found as well were freaking out that everything had to look real, and I really wanted to strip that back and go, no, art can be subjective. You can see something that's a leaf in reality, but when you put it on paper, it can be your leaf. Like, it can be your abstract leaf.
I love that.
It still looks like
make the leaf your own.
Make the leaf your own. And so some really awesome shapes came out of that process, and I've included them in my concept. So we'll see. I'm excited to show them as well.
Nice. And so you hope to be painting that in June. Where is best for people to follow you for updates on where you are and what you're doing?
Probably the best is Instagram. I post a lot on my stories, and I mean on my wall as much as I can. I find that social media it's great, but I'm also like, oh my gosh, I need to be posting more, but that's okay. Oh gosh, it's so hard. I don't know how these people do it. And then also I have my website, but I haven't updated my website in a while. I have to update that. But at sirmano.com.au. So you can follow me there.
Link to all of it. Now, we do have to go soon, but I do want to ask you, I know you can't tell us the venue, but is there anything that you can share with us on your solo show that is coming up at some point this year?
Yes. Well, my solo show this year, it's going to be a little bit different from my other shows.
Okay. How so?
I'm still gonna have like my wooden frames that my dad makes, but I'm going to explore doing a lot of hanging things and a lot of things coming onto different areas like the floor. So it's more of maybe a bit of audio. Maybe you didn't hear it from me,
Very
but
cool.
maybe a bit of audio, kind of creating an experience for people when they walk in. Bit of a wonderland experience. So
that's perfect. I think that suits your artwork so well.
Yeah, so hopefully that will go ahead at the end of the year. So fingers crossed. But I'll be putting a lot of that up on my social channels when the dates actually locked in, because COVID has just I think disrupted a lot of things. So it's nice to just keep going, keep creating, but as much as we can, I guess.
Yeah. And so you're working full-time as an art director at the same time as putting together this solo show and not being able to leave your house.
Oh, what a life.
What a life. Has it stopped you from creating it all though, or you've been kind of okay getting it together?
I am really lucky to have my studio in my house.
Perfect.
So it's just kind of out the back there. So I've apart from the regular stuff of like, I don't really want to create tonight, I think it's actually going okay for the moment. I know a lot of people are really in a lot worse situations than me, so I'm really fortunate and grateful for one, have my studio at my house, for one, still be kind of working for the moment, and just kind of pushing through and getting through this time.
Yeah. We are really lucky in Australia. It's
gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy what's happening elsewhere. It's so easy to be in our bubble, but I'm incredibly grateful to be here during this time.
Totally. And also having, I think, another outlet like painting or creating for a solo show, because it's really distracting me from probably what's going outside a little bit. So it's kind of nice to keep going with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I will link to all of your socials and whatnot so that people can follow what you're up to. And thank you so much. I appreciate having you on.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much for listening. That was the incredibly talented Australian artist Sirmano. Be sure to check out her work on Facebook at sirmano.artist and Instagram under Sirmano. You've got the links in the description in case you've missed that. As always, if you like this podcast, please be sure to follow, subscribe, and leave us a review. I would genuinely love to hear your feedback. This is, after all, a show for you to get insights into your favorite artists, so let me know what you would like to hear in the future. I've been your host, Stephanie O'Brien, and this has been Street Art Unearthed by Splatters. Thanks again for listening. I hope you're keeping safe, healthy, and sane.